What's up, everybody? We're back at it again. Welcome to the Nailed It Custom Woodworks LLC. So we got a couple doors. We've already put in two of them. We've got this third one, and for whatever reason, I chose this one to do the content on. I say that because you see that right there, that little bit of play. We'll see if we can get that taken care of, either moving the hinges back on this upper part here, moving them closer that way, or we'll figure it out as we go. Well, we know what to do, but we'll figure out the fix for it as it should look as we go. Now, bear with me, doing this on a cell phone, so I'll try to be considerate of your time. These past couple doors, I've started off with the strike plate on the jam side. And then I go in, drill my hole over there in the door itself, and then drill that latch part out. Oh yeah, one more thing. Nail it. Pretty simple here. Regulation strike. But we do have slotted screws in there. Let me grab my screwdriver. BRB. Not my dog, homeowner's dog. Go on now. Get from him. Well, come on now. Get in there. I know you want to stay at your home, but it's time for you to move on. Time for you to get on with it. You know what I'm saying? Pop that crusty looking thing out of there. Toss it in. Rest myself on my laurels, because why not? That's what happens when you nail it. Give that a little tappy poo. Clean them out some with the flat screwdriver. Don't need much, there's just some kind of gunk and whatnot in there. Alright, I'm ready to put a screw or two. Those aren't the screws. Where y'all at? There you go. Simple, straightforward doorknob, Home Depot, Lowe's, nothing crazy. Bedroom, bathroom. It's got a privacy lock on it. Not a passage doorknob. All right. Don't want you. I want you. I gave this dog some treats a little bit ago. Now she's on it like stink on poo. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, so here's how I've been doing it. So I've got my strike plate right there. It's 2 1/4 inches. I'll take my tape measure. Probably can't see what's going on. How can I fix this? A GoPro. I'll just make the mark. So I'll line my hook end up with the top, and I'll come down to 1 1/8 inches. Make a little marky poo on my door. Puts me about center, so I can use these fancy templates that come with these doorknobs. And yeah, there you are. Right there. We'll get out this wonderful, got a little bit more room. Wonderful high quality set of instructions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't need that. All we want is this little template here on the bottom. It's got where you should mark for your latch and your doorknob there. 2 3/8, I believe, is a setback. And what's that middle one? Whatever that middle mark is. So cut along that dotted line there. Give it a fold. I'll be back. And again, once you do enough of these, the only stressful part really is popping a hole in there. Those 2 holes. That's really the only stressful part about this whole process. Getting everything to line up with your existing latches and holes and so on. So yeah, third time's gonna be charm, I believe. grab the old speed square. Watch that finish, T-Bone. Rotate yourself around, find your mark again because it's so dark in here. It's somewhere up there, right there. I see it. I see a faint shadowing of it. We're gonna go, we'll bam, hold that in, make us a little center mark. Something we can line that template up on. Right there, bam, mark across. Well, would you look at that? You are capable of manipulating matter. Look at that. Get here, dog. Alright, so we got our mark up there. Good. Now, my little mini combination square doesn't have the scribe in the end of it, so I've just been using the point right there on the butterfly bit, spade bit, to mark my center points. Also in this process, get yourself a Vicks bit, also known as a centering tool. I'll show it to you later on in the video. Helps you line up those screw holes for whatever you're doing a whole lot better. Pre-drill, pre-drill, pre-drill. Takes a few seconds. Go ahead and do it. Alright, so we got our mark, and where'd she go? Bam. There it is. Yeah, this is precise, huh? Yeah, I could go out and buy one of those jigs, but I don't need no stinking jig. Don't want no stinking jig. I'll just hold that there, just to make sure we're looking good still. Dang, I can't see nothing. Alright, like I said, you got that mark, you gotta line it up. And this is a horizontal mark that way, representing the center. And you're gonna take that little piece of paper template, give it that fold, secure it, grab your marker of choice, make sure that you're using the right hole, which you're gonna use the 2 1/8, which is set back 2 3/8, and put a little dip right there. We're gonna come over here to this side, and we're gonna mark the 1 3/8, not the 1 9/16. Each door can be different, depending on the thickness of your door, what kind of door it is, all that good mumbo jumbo. All right, dog, I don't need no help. We got thumbs. All right, be right back. Gonna get a tarp for my mess. Put your tarp down so it catches all your dust, so you're not making a huge mess in the homeowner's house. By the way, I'm a little tired today. I know I'm not as enthusiastic as I could be or as I want to be, but I'm just a little tired, worn out today. That's all. But all right, so we got that. Let's put a hole in this door, huh? 2 1/8. Suggest getting yourself a set of these. Real quick, easy change out. Move that nut, screw that back. Bam, you can put on a different size, whatever you need. It's an investment. They ain't cheap, but they work. And another thing is, I'm not using that little kit template. I bought one of them for the hinges, and it's all right. It's okay. It does the job. Feel better about it. But let's pop that hole. Hope y'all can see that. Alright. Find your little center dot and slowly get started. There you go. That ain't bad. Kinda like that. Slow. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Get that started in there, let it grab a little bit so it don't dance around on you as much. I mean, you could make the little template out of your yourself out a couple scrap boards. Just take one of them, drill your hole in there, clamp it down to this, and that should keep you from dancing around. But we got skills on this channel, so we're gonna use those. Now you're not going all the way through the door. You're just doing it till that bit, that pilot bit, comes out the other side of get bit. Check the back, see my progress. Now, give you a little shot of that. See that little, where are you at? That little bing right there, that's what we want. We're gonna pull our man drill out, go to the other side, and drill on through. This part right here you don't want to get too crazy with, because once you cut past your line, you just want to go ding through the door like that. So just take your time. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? There was a little grab there. And we're through. It's a hollow core door, but as you can see around the long edges, it's fairly solid for a few inches. I say solid, it's all pressed particle board, glue and wood chips. Now that we got that part done, it's time to come in this side and put the corresponding hole right there. You may be able to see that line, but I've gone with the template wherever that mark is, or fairly close to it for the past few, and that seemed to work out well. So yeah, I'm just gonna go where that mark is. If it messes up, we'll fix it. But we know it ain't gonna mess up. Same sort of deal. Get your point in, give it a little pressure, kind of line yourself up. And you can see the veneer panel on this, panel on that, solid pine, well, finger jointed pine in there. And we're just gonna go slow. Move your hand out of the way. Same sort of deal, take it easy on that last bit because she wants to go on through. All right, so I got my, my main holes drilled. Got quite a bit of a mess here. I'm gonna clean it up first, then we'll be right back. So I'm not done with it, but clean up as you go. Sorry, my face was all up in there. I was reaching down and getting something. But clean up as you go. Makes that end cleanup a lot easier. All right, cleanup's been done. It's time for the fun part. Always stressful, getting that strike in there, chisel out. These are rounded. Where is that thing? Again, sorry for the face right in the camera. But these are rounded. I would prefer them to be square, just because chisels are straight and I don't have the little corner deal, but we're gonna do our best to get that roundness in there, much like this one. Now I know that you see a lot of different color wood on that, and that's because it's not stained back there. If it were stained back there, you wouldn't see all that coloration, so it's not the workmanship. we're gonna put our tart back down so that we can catch all these extra little chips and whatnot that we create from this process. Literally nothing but a painter's tart. Just something to catch all the goodies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Bring that under there, scoot that out, maybe so you guys can see. Yeah. All right. It's time to break out the marbles. Here's that Vicks bit I was telling you about. That side right there usually goes into the hinges or where your screw is, and as you drill and push, that drill bit comes out and gives you a nice centered hole on that opening that you have in your hinges or your strike or whatever it is you're doing. Alright, so this part's fairly simple. What I've been doing on these, I'll put that in there, turn it the right way, kind of get an idea where it's going to look like. Take your handy dandy, you all can't see that. Let me fix this. I'm just gonna pop that in there. Hold it back here through the door hole. And get yourself some reference lines. You can use a pencil when it's possible. But this has polyurethane on it, some nice hefty coats. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of get it where it needs to be. Take our utility knife and just give that a good score. There. And there. Don't go too far. Alright, so we made ourselves some marks there. Next thing we're going to do, you look at these, get that little lip, where is one right there. Stick a screwdriver in there, pop that strike out. I keep calling it a strike, it's not a strike. I know. So you're left with that. And then there's these pieces. You can take that out of there, switch it out for something else. So we're gonna take it and flip it backwards so that the flat part is up against the door itself. Then you're gonna grab those provided screws and get your Vicks bit. I don't know what people call it. I've heard it called a Vicks bit for a long time, so that's what I call it. Call it what you will. Put it in the comments. Maybe I'll learn something today. And get that where you need it. And I'm just doing my pilot holes here, so I don't completely split out this fine pine. Got that in. Got that in. Now remember, this is on backwards, so the flush side is up against the edge of the door. If I hadn't lost my bit, there it is. Phillippe head. Give that a little 1, 2, 3. I want 2, 3. Left, your left. All right, so now that we got that in there, we can come back with our utility knife and purposefully scribe out around where this piece of hardware goes. I almost said strike, caught myself. So down stroke, curve, stop, come back over here, hit that curve, and y'all probably can't see this, but I've got this thumb kind of guiding my blade around these radiuses. There's my one right there. We're gonna come down. Come on, you. Get down, ball. And do this side. Now we're gonna come back to here and complete this purposefully. Again, not just all willy-nilly. This is very tight in here. We don't want it looking like poo. We want it to look as best as it can. So we'll score this a couple times and I'll be right back. Now I know there's a million ways to do this part here, but this is the way I'm doing it today. Get over it. All right, my wonderful marbles. I'm gonna go with a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 inch. Back these screws out. Don't misplace them. I usually put them back in the container that the whole doorknob came in, just as a holding spot. Or you put them in whatever you want. Anyway, so now that we got that scribed out, let's see if you guys can see that. Had a little boo-boo right there. But it's all right. We'll work with it. What I usually do, start off with that big hole in the bottom with the flat side against the door. Now I'll just kind of pare this out real gently. Some folks might even call it gingerly. Just be easy with it. There's no need to rush this part. It's a fairly tedious process, but it's also simple, and something this simple, just take your time on it. Now I work at an angle in towards that hole. I'm not all the way down at my bottom. I'm about 2/3 the way up. And just start paring that off with your hand. Like I said, this is kind. These chisels are sharp, so it comes off fairly easy. And you want to do the same thing at the top, flat side again against the door. Find your left and your right, and start paring. Sometimes you got to give it a little dance left and right to work through that wood. Don't worry, we'll get the hammer out too. This is just to get my my outline basically done. All right, so now I'm gonna switch over to the 3/4, and we're gonna move that up and pay attention to what that wood's doing as you're prying it. Is it coming off round? You think it's gonna go wild? Think it's gonna go wild, just give it a little pry, get it to a point, take your knife, do what you gotta do. Clean that out of there so it looks nice. Nice. My kid does that. That mean guy. Nice. Anyway, now I've still got the flat part towards the door. I'm not working with my angle quite yet because I'm not there. Make sure you got a sharp blade too. That does wonders. You want to nail it. I mean, what is a blade? A couple cents. Buy a pack of 100 for under 20 bucks at the big box store. Use them. Ain't no sense in holding on to them forever. Use them darn blades. Huh? Still got to clean up the bottom. Three-quarter chisel. Flat part still against the door. Give it a little tap of poo with the palm of your hand. And kind of traditionally, just take off a little bit. Working those radiuses very carefully. Now, I'm going to put that top angle towards my door. I'm going to get out the California framer. Seen this before, haven't you? And yeah, we're just going to start tap. I would go to the middle not towards an edge when you go all the way down the first time. Trying to center it up in between those ridges there. And this is the part where you can kind of float that bevel on the top of your chisel to whatever angle you need it to be, steep or not steep, and kind of work that piece out of there. Going back with the 1/2 inch right in between them radiuses, and just give it a little tap. Give it a little tap. Sometimes that's all it needs is a little tap. Double tap? No, we're not double tapping anything here. Then again, I'm kind of pairing this up. Get a little bit cleaner, flip that angle back towards, it gives you more control over how much material you're taking out. You can float it in and out. It kind of regulates your depth. Again, just little taps. Tap, 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 tap. It's that Happy Gilmore movie. Just tap it in. Just tap, tap, tap it in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed my mood's improved. Shouldn't say mood, my energy level. It's kind of fun sharing this stuff with you all, however many of you are out there. I thoroughly enjoy it, I do. I do. Now this is not near deep enough. But the main part here is that we've got enough material removed from this to we're not so worried about getting all wild and just taking a big chunk out and having to fix that part right there. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. There's one that I don't like. Now, before you go too far with all this, you want to be checking frequently on your depth with your hardware. I'm not doing that because I've done this a couple times already today, and I'm fairly certain that I am not there just yet. So let's put this back together, find our wonderful little dealio with the rounded edges, or radii. Snap that into place. Snap that into place. Some of these kits come with a square end around you can swap out. This one didn't. I'll just pop that in there, see how it looks, give it a feel. Oh man, that's not it. So what we do now, get up off your laurels so you can attack, Jack. And we're gonna start cleaning out the material. Got that 3/4 chisel again. Now I've got the bevel of the chisel up against the door, and again I'm doing this to regulate my depth on my cuts there. And this is a nice straight edge that you can use to kind of ride on to keep a straight line. So that's not coming, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our knife and go to town. Something in there is hefty, hefty, hefty. Just put the little 1/2 inch in it. Whap. No, not Cardi B whap. All right, that looks like it'll suffice. Just take off this little wafer right there. Compare the top to the bottom, and I see that I need to take out some more materials. Man, it's dark in there. Get yourself some lights, too, if you need them. I chose not to bring mine today because, hey, why would you bring something you need all the time? And little pieces. That's the advantage of having a nice wide chisel. And keep that surface even across. And go back to your hardware. See how he or she fits, whatever you prefer. And my top's not too bad. I'm probably a 32nd heavy, but my bottom's a good, heavy 16th. A heavy 16th. So just gonna go in there. Again, start from the bottom, work in that center, take some material out. Now keep working towards the center because it's an easier spot to basically create this. So I'm taking this chisel, and I'll come back with this chisel and get that nice and flat in there. You got the bevel part against the door. Pick that out. Hi-ya! Maybe that's a sound effect we'll get in there. Yeah, I stopped the video. Didn't feel like wasting y'all's time. But there it is. It's in there. It's flush. So see, we got them holes that we drilled, pre-drilled. Now we're gonna set our screw. So that's screw number 2. Whee! Like butter. Nailed it. Give a little tap in there. Alrighty, roof. Knobs. Obviously, the lock's gonna go inside the room. Keyhole's gonna go outside. Some of these are finicky, some of them are not. And on this side, you gotta kind of rotate until you get this here flat pin to engage in that lock. Left, right, up, down, whatever needs to go, bam, that's in there. Now we're gonna take your screws, start them by hand. That's it. Easier said than done, you know what I'm saying? Why they don't make these so you can just stick that little thing in there, I don't know, but I got our screws in. Watch your doors, you're doing this. The other side going. Again. Watch your door. Feel a little grab in there. Loosen that up a little bit. It ain't got to be Superman tight. It's got to stay up there. All right. So that's what we got. Just from putting in the door knob And look at that. Let's turn that into half. We got options at this point. We can mess with that, fiddle with it until we get it perfectly right. Or we can get it close enough, keep on moving. This is just a door install. That being said, we're gonna do a little bit of work on these hinges just to get that door to flush up nicely. So our fix is gonna be to make that door do this a little bit on the hinge side. So we need to bring it towards the strike side. We're gonna do that by removing the screws, putting a piece of wood, actual material, not just cardboard or some BS. Put a little material back there. Hopefully that throws that door back around this way a little bit. I can feel with my thumb there's a little bit of a lip right in there. But dang man, I'm sorry about getting my face all up in the camera. Here's our progress. Move this jamb this way with a block of wood. Opens up that. It's a 2-piece jamb. Lots of caulking, lots of scraping. So that's the first part of it. Next, I'm going to move these door hinges. I'm going to move this over that way a little bit. Now, when you're messing around with moving things from one place to another, get yourself a piece of pine or whatever kind of wood, make some kind of dowel, shove it in that old hole, because the new one is just going to move right on into that old hole space. Fill it in. All right, that took care of that. Was it worth it? It was a pain in the ass. But you come out here, you got that. You got that. Anyway, I'm gonna keep farting around with this door. Thank y'all for watching. Keep on nailing it.